to my husband. Okay, so now I had to put that little piece in to let y'all see how strong and dangerous that substance can be in a household, especially a closed environment. So, okay, after that happened, after that passed, it's like I said, he came from work. The lady didn't come back until maybe 2, 3, 4 months later. And they just continued, but I got smart. They would call me out there and I'd be like, nah, that's all right, I'm staying here. And I would go in the room with my daughters and stay in there and sleep in there because you walk inside that part of the house, everything is all fog with smoke. And she would go and she would take my father's money and she would go in his pocket on payday. So I guess he would go get her on payday certain months, ever so often, excuse me, and bring her to my house. And she would stay for however long because she didn't have no jobs. She had older people and older kids in the house that could take care of the younger kids. So she really didn't have nothing to worry about. And each time she would come over, my husband would go to wherever he was going and get that and come back, and they'll be up all night. I would go to sleep and wake up and they'd be still up doing it. And it started getting worse because I guess when he first started, it would just be, it first started as me seeing it. He would just be up for a few hours and then he'll come and lie down and go to bed. He'll want to do some sex or something and I'll be like, no, and he'll just roll over and go to sleep. But then after his system started really getting it into it and wanting it, he would be up for days. And I would say to him, Tracy, you need to eat. You don't want nothing to eat? No, I don't want nothing to eat. Why are you bothering me about something to eat? Tracy, you need to go to bed. You need to sleep. You looking. So all the time he was walking out the house going to work, he wasn't even working. He didn't go to work for a whole year, and I didn't know he wasn't working. And every time he would come with no money, he would be considered. It would be considered. Well, I was hanging out with my buddies, and I'm like saying to myself, "What buddies? You from Cali? What buddies you got?" But I left it alone. Me and my buddies at you think I ain't got no friends, so I'll leave him alone. So that was the catch. He never was working, so he couldn't come home with no money. So they had public assistance back there and stuff like that. I wasn't on Section 8, so my rent was paid through public assistance. And he didn't have to pay no rent. You see what I'm saying? So, because I never put him as head of household, and public assistant was trying to make me that, well, he's supposed to be head of household. He is your husband. Well, I don't care if he is my husband or not. He's not being the head of household of my household. Because I already saw that he was irresponsible of taking care of the house. I was taking care. I was doing it. So this is early age. Since the age of what? 17, 18. I was taking care of house. Taking care of children. So, okay, anyway. So now, we go on. That's where it comes in with him trying to kill me and trying to kill the kid based on his desire for this substance that he couldn't get. So, now he leaves me. He goes. We split up. He goes back to California I think he went back to California in 1993, right? A year after he found out from my mouth, we met up. We was together, stuff like that. It's his friend's house, couples night, however it was, and he heard that I had another child, and he got real mad because we had made a pact that I wasn't gonna have no more kids by nobody else. I mean, I was dumb, I was naive. How can I make that promise? How can I make that promise of a future that I had no control of? So that means he manipulated me to think that I was going to be with him always. And if it just so happens that we weren't together, I couldn't go and sex nobody else. So I had to have that mentality of, no, I can't sex nobody because this is my husband or whatever. Or maybe he did have that pull over me because I didn't really sex nobody. But I didn't sex nobody. To me, in my opinion, in my thought, is because I wasn't sexually active. That wasn't a part. That wasn't a main part of my life. Love was the main part of my life. So that's what I was more looking for than I was sex. And if I ran into somebody that was so interested in sex, then that turned me off and our relationship went down the drain. So when I saw him in 1992, it was a few months after my daughter Danielle was born, and she was a C-section, and she actually died. I got a video on that. My daughter died, but God brought her back alive, something like that. Or the day my daughter died, something like that. But it's a video. You'll search for it, you should find it. And it tells of what happened in that predicament. So, in that situation rather. So, I seen Tim. I can't even remember how we ran into each other or whatever the case may be, but we did. And we met up, and he got mad when he found out that I had another child, and he kind of like cursed her, like saying she should have died. And when he said that, that was the end of it. That was the end of it. I ain't had nothing else to say. I was through with him. My cousin and the guy house we was in went to the store to get some more beer or liquor or whatever and cigarettes. We was gonna just chill out with them. And when they came back, they saw that the vibe was broken. And I told her it's time to go. And she didn't really want to go because they was getting ready to, we were supposed to get together and have some fun, right? But I told her, I said, you could stay. I'm out of here. And I went to the door, and the guy was like, wait, what happened? What happened? Wait a minute. Let's talk about this. What happened? And I was like, I went and sat in the living room. I said, ain't nothing to talk about. I said, I'm done. So he went and he pulled my husband into the back room. His wife was there. She was very antisociable. But fine, I can understand that, That was her husband friends. So he was talking to my husband. Him and her was talking to him and found out what happened. And they was like, "What's the matter with you? You don't say that. You don't say that. How you gonna say that to a parent, a mother at that actually almost lost her child, and you gonna say she should have died? Oh no, you imagine? I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna try to talk to whatever, but." And I told my cousin what he said, and she was like, "Oh no, let's go." She didn't even want to stay no more. Now after that, what? She was ready to fight him. I was like, nah, it's okay. But anyway, making a long story short, in that perspective, left him, and that was 1992, and I did not see him anymore until 2012 or 11. Didn't talk to him, didn't say nothing. Totally separated each other. Well, I did talk to him, but I talked to him in 2011, the year of which he came, or 2012, one of them years. So now, I think he said 2009. I think on his disability letter it states that he became he became disabled, I believe, in 2009. So according to him, he said him and his friends, he was a drug dealer. No, he wasn't. He wasn't a drug dealer. He was doing drugs at the time, but it could also get him. So he said they all was in a hotel room chilling, whatever. And he was in there by himself, waiting for everybody else to come. And then next thing you know, he kept falling. He just kept falling. He would get up. He said it wasn't so much that he was dizzy, but it seemed like, that's what you would call it. But that's not what it was. He said he just kept falling. He just kept falling. He said so he happened to get up and go to his friends to the next room. And as soon as the person opened the door, the guy said, "Yo, man, you having a stroke." And grabbed him, put him in, and gave him some aspirins and laid him down and put water on him and stuff until he calmed. But he said he didn't want to go to the doctor. He said he wouldn't go to the doctor. He said the guy was telling him he needed to go to the doctor, but he wouldn't go. He said so he made it through that one. He said whatever went down or whatever it is, he didn't get a twisted face or nothing happened to his arm or nothing like that. He just felt that, right? So he went on, right, with it, I guess, well, however it was. And then I think he said a few months later, Same thing happened again, but that time he didn't get back up. He stayed down there. I think maybe it was around the same people again. And this time he had to go to the hospital. And when he went to the hospital, that was the outcome. His size. So he was doing it. So we don't know. I don't know. I can't remember now whether he told me or not that the doctor said that it was due to what he was doing that caused him to have the stroke. But his diabetes and all that came into play once he went to the doctor. So he could have already had diabetes. So now, with that being said, forward whining to 2000, about 2020, 21, we're here. The doctor had came and I began asking the doctor. He's a Korean doctor that we see quite often. I ain't seen in a while, come to think about it, but she would come. She was the one that would always come, and she would talk with us and stuff like that. So I asked her, I said, well, why is this happening? What is this about? I was telling him about how he wanted to take the gabapenins, for those who know anything about the medicine. The gabapentin pen or something like that. That's supposed to be for pain, and I think it has something to do with the diabetes, or maybe it was the metformin, or something like that. But he used to take them by the handful. He used to just take them in, because when he first came to me, he was in charge of his medicine, and he used to take them by the handful. And I guess he was taking them too much one particular time, where it paralyzed him temporarily for about 2 days, 3 days, where he couldn't do nothing. I had to clean him up and stuff. And that was the road to his continent journey. Because it just started out where he was doing it for a little bit, and I wash him up and stuff like that until he passed that to where he couldn't move. He couldn't move his legs. I'm trying to think if he could move his hands. I don't think he could move anything. He was just like stiff out, right? And I would sponge him down and wash him down, and wash his face and all that, get him all out. And we had like a pleather chair, so being that I couldn't really move him because he was heavy at the time, he was weighing a little bit more weight than he is weighing now. Well, I still can't pick him out. Who knows? I probably could, but I ain't trying. But back then I couldn't. So wherever he was sitting at in the couch, the living room was his bedroom, because he didn't, a situation happened and we was not together in the bedroom, right? And once he got like that, that was the place I could put him at, and that's where he stayed, right, for however long. And that will happen to him quite often. So when I told the doctor about that, she said that that's what happens when people are substance abusers. There is something in their system, I'm going to use the word system, she used a medical term, that craves for it. And they don't get it. So therefore, whatever it is that fits that craving, that's what they take. So that gabapentin, whatever it is, fit him, and he he would take them. So now, with that being said, that's sort of what got him to where he is today. Now, in the actual medical field of it, or the medical term of it, or to say that the doctor said, yeah, it was his substance that did it, or his diabetes that did it, no, they never said that. But they said that all of those things played a part to where he is today. So, that's the story. That's what happened. That's where he at, and that's what I'm doing. And no drugs is involved. No substance abuse is involved. And I know substance abuse can do things because I used to be a drinker. So it took away my taste buds. It took away clogged up my smelling. I had all this respiratory going on. I had all this bacteria up in my body that just lie dominant in my lip noms or whatever you call them. And after a while, it started releasing itself and coming out, and I had messed up mouth, teeth, and holes all in my mouth, and gums swelling up, and I never went to the dentist to get it all cleared up, and I would taste stuff in my mouth, not even knowing that I got all this bacteria going on in it. I just thank God that God kept me clean. That's why when I testified Sunday, I said, I thank God. I had all types of bacteria running around in my body and didn't even know it. But thank God he didn't allow it to take me out. Drinking. Alcohol carries bacteria because it ain't got no business in your body. So it's all up in there and it's sitting up in there and I'm drinking. All types of things could have happened to me twixt then and now or twixt then and then. But thank God for prayer of the righteous availeth much. Thank God for the confessing of the faults of the saints to one another, where their prayers was answered for me. And God came along and delivered me from drinking. Delivered me from smoking. These are things that you just can't stop on your own. Willpower is only going to take you up to as far as willingness can go. And when willingness run out and say, I'm putting this down, I ain't taking it no more, I'm tired of all this trouble, you going to go right back and pick up what you put down. Now, anybody that did make it and offer willpower, I bless you, I applaud you. And I never say it can't be done. But I'm here to tell you that it wasn't no willpower for me. Because I wanted to stop smoking a lot of times. I wanted to stop drinking a lot of times. But I couldn't because of the situation that I was in, the atmosphere I was in, the problems that I was going through at the time. Only God could deliver me.